Okay, so we're going to keep with the same style. And the first major arcana that comes out will determine who we're reading for, but you'll know it by the title. I'm using the Occult Tarot by Travis McHenry, the Neo Writer Tarot Collection, and the Dark Mirror Oracle by Laura Sala. I already did Scorpio and Taurus, and I think they want it to be together. Scorpio won't stay out of my energy. Got 5 of Cups. Whoa. King of Wands. Let's see, first major arcana we get will help us see. So I'm not sure how many cards you're going to get. It depends on how long it takes for major arcana to pop out and indicate whom. Knight of Wands. It looks like a fire sign. Temperance. So I'm reading for Sagittarius. Okay. I knew it was fire when I saw the King of Wands. And then the Knight of Wands came out. At the bottom of the deck, we actually have Queen of Swords reversed. You aren't in complete agreement with a way a person is acting towards you, or communicating with you, or not communicating with you. This particular energy of the Queen of Swords is not receptive or misunderstanding your intention. We have the 5 of Cups. King of Wands. Hold on, got a message. All right. I think this King of Wands energy is something to overcome because it's ego ran. It says, makes men fly into passionate rage and desire, destroys the happiness of married couples, and wastes the beauty of virgins, reveals the future. So it has its upsides and it has its downsides. The fire, it may burn so bright and so vigorously that it depletes other people in its environments, especially if their energy is not equipped. So air, earth, I want to say yin energy. So earth and water, you can deplete them far quicker than you could a yang energy, which would be compatible to your fire or an air energy. The person you're dealing with, Queen of Swords in reverse, has come up in the reverse. So even you're giving them a run for their money that they didn't bargain for. So the fire is blazing a little too hot. So temperance is here to try to balance this shit out, because the expenditure of energy, the expenditure of fire can be detrimental. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is actually a protagonist in this collection of energy here. But again, you have 3 cards of fire and 3 cards indicating the other elements. So fire, earth, and water are not responding to what you're giving out with the same girth. It's not coming out with the same not high strung severity of energy that you're putting out. You have to understand that fire can burn and magnify in temperature in a short amount of time. Water has to acclimate to the environment it's in order to change temperature. Fire, air, fire, think about temperature when you're trying to heat up your home. It does use air, but it uses air. Fire is the only element that consumes another element in order to produce and to spring forward. So it consumes the energy of earth or water or air in order to project itself onto its environment or in the arena that it's to be used for. So we have the Knight of Wands here. Transports anyone suddenly from one place to another, teaches the values of herbs and stones. So this could be an informative time, and it could be too much information going to others, or like a spiritually too much fire, too much energy being exerted towards people that are not matching your element. They're not going to be able to keep up with the type of passion, girth, fire, ability that you're putting out. So Temperance is here. Makes great noises and warms water. Teaches geometry and liberal sciences. So again, informative. You're being asked to use your energy in a different application, because the way it's being perceived is too much, too hot, it's excessive. So Temperance has come, because we could have gotten the Wheel of Fortune for Sagittarius, but we're getting the Temperance card. So it's moderate. You could be in between elements, or moderately applying yourself to these different elements in a fashion that they can accept, that they can be receptive to without being overwhelmed. You have the King of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Temperance. And Five of Cups is here. So there's some... Okay. You don't want to stay in my hand, you could just say so. I mean, I won't feel one way about it or another. Just don't fuck up my nail polish. Okay. Queen of my world in reverse. Number 24 reduces to a 6. And is this me in the upright? That's a number 4. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Temple of my body in reverse. This is a period of reevaluation. Queen of my world and Temple of my body, those seem to be outside influences. The body itself is a physical emanation, a manifestation to enclose a spirit. So it has a modality of operating on this 3D density type of plane. The Queen of my world. Well, your world is everything in your environment and all the places that you visit, inhabit, and are a part of. Whether this be virtually, socially, emotionally. But is this me? So the way that you're showing up in these different environments, is it really a true reflection of the person that you are? Or is it orchestrated based on these things that are outside of you and what they require? Because if you're misplaced internally without a clear sense of, is this me? Am I who I think I am? Is this my authentic self? Then everywhere you place yourself outwardly will be In this 5 energy, 5 of Cups, it'll be missing something. It'll be at a loss of something. The communication will be all. I have the World. I meant to pick up the Queen of Swords reverse on its own, but the World came out too. What I feel is happening is you're adopting the characteristics of another element. Behind the World was the King of Pentacles. You'll need someone of an earth-based element in order to ground. You can take on the characteristics of the earth signs to actually ground your energy so that you're not bouncing and oscillating off of the wall. And people can't keep up with you, and therefore you feel like you're not understood because they can't match your pace. They can't match your fire, your passion, your enthusiasm, your ability to get up and go, to move and orchestrate the way that you do. Fire is built completely different. Seems like when I put on clear nail polish, it just dries and I can go about my business. When I put on color, it takes so much longer. Not that you actually care or you need to know that, but so you will have to be careful with burning out your, people in your environment, friends, family, colleagues, friends. Did I say friends already? Friends, family, colleagues, romantic interests. They really can't match fire unless they have fire. And if it's not their primary element, it's only going to be to a certain extent anyway. The ability they'll have and natural disposition to use fire. So you have to understand that there will be a proper application to use fire and show people what fire can do, how to increase temperature, how to increase passion. These are things that you can teach that no other element can. Queen of my world, she's in a red garment, but it's in reverse. And it seems like there's too much intensity in what you've come to know of yourself and your world to be. It seems like it's reactive versus proactive. You don't start fire by imagining fire. You have to perform an action of clicking, igniting, really bringing something into combustion in order to activate fire. It needs a source of either air to perform its duties. It needs something to actually ignite on, whether it be something solid like earth, or it will need to perform an action to heat something like water, or the lack of heat will drop temperature. People will notice when you withdraw your heat what happens to their environment. This allows others to it's incite, ignite, to summon you in order to change the climate of their environment. If things are too stiff, too cold, too rigid, they can inject fire, but they will have to solicit your attention and ask your permission. So it is better to not have enough warmth and be a necessity to a situation than to be just too hot and people are trying to get away from it, if you understand what I'm saying. Okay. It's withdrawal. Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups in reverse. Though you are coming up in fire, your feelings about it have been altered because of the response you've been getting in your environment. So what it's saying is the new way to utilize your fire is to withdraw, and therefore the opportunity comes to you. You can receive the invitations versus being the one to give them. There's a different way to utilize this. This Queen of Cups is coming up because, I mean, fire is in your heart, fire is in your spirit. And that's something, you know, it's not easily turned off. And when it's turned off, it gets cold. So with Queen of Swords in reverse and Queen of Cups in reverse, this is pretty much you taking your hands off of, this is you taking your hands off decisively from any given situation that you're a part of. Your actions have not been wholeheartedly recognized. Not until there's absence and clarity from whatever situation or friend group, colleagues, family members that you've been a part of. You're no more fighting to be a part of any fucking thing. And instead, you're going to let their mind wander and figure, and they're going to understand that you're not there. And it's going to get them reeling. It's going to get them wondering. Even the way that these elements are showing up, everything but fire. This is passive fire. You're just being. You're just being the Ace of Wands, not necessarily fighting to assert or insert yourself in any given situation. You're just being who the fuck you are. The people around, or the people, they're gonna seek it out because their environments are gonna get too cold, too chaotic, too this or too that. This is too dark. And what they'll need is a light source. You have definitively decided that you are going to stay stationed. And they will, from the Five of Cups to the Six of Cups, come into the understanding that they miss it, that they do want it. But you're giving the space and opportunity for them to come into you and ask and want and desire. So instead of fire being active in this moment, it is what it is. And you have to allow the space for them to want to come seek your heat, which will happen. Because it's felt. Trust me, it's felt. It's felt. I don't have to pull any more cards. For this to be, I mean, this was just straight to the point. Just be. Just be fire. And just be stationed. You don't have to travel so frequently. You don't have to travel so much or do so much in so many different areas of life. Be. Because, is this me? It is you. The thing is, you move so quickly and from element to element to element that nobody can pinpoint you, nobody can figure you out, no one can even try to begin to identify with you in a certain regard, because you're ever present, you're ever there. So remove yourself, back up just a little bit, and sit and burn and be fire. And when it gets cold, which is soon, they're so used to it being around. They're so used to being able to call on it. Not call on it, just look up and it be there. They're expectant at this point. You never want a person to be so expectant that they can clock your movements or assume. Fire is unpredictable. And the one thing they won't expect is you not moving. Being self-contained. And they'll come. And they'll wonder. And they'll ask. And they'll seek you out. And they'll really want to motherfucking know where the fuck you been. And what you're up to. And how are you? Allow them. Flipped and upside down, you're changing your station from being so powerfully yang to yin. Let it be. Let it flow around you. And when it approaches you, you can choose what you want to combust, what you want to combine with, instead of you being available all the fucking time for people. And they may not even want what you're bringing. They may not even be in a space to receive your girth, your vitality, your virility, your libido, whatever it may be, your angst. Dial it back. Less is more. So that is the Light After Dark reading, and I'll see you guys soon.